What would you do if the person you trusted most turned out to be a cold-blooded killer? In a quiet neighborhood, a mother and her young son lived a seemingly peaceful life. But what would unfold behind the closed doors of their home would shock everyone. It was a crime so chilling that the entire nation was left questioning the very nature of justice. Before we begin, we deeply sympathize with the family of Zion Staples during this unimaginably tragic time. Losing a young life under such heartbreaking circumstances is something no family should ever have to endure. Our thoughts are with those mourning his loss, and we hope they find strength and comfort amidst the grief. This is True Crime Diaries, where we delve deep into the most chilling and complex criminal cases, bringing you the untold stories behind the headlines. Join us as we uncover the facts, the twists, and the shocking truths behind some of the darkest moments in history. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more gripping stories. Let us know your thoughts below. We'd love to hear from you. This is the story of Zion Staples, a bright 10-year-old boy, and his mother, Sushi Staples, whose actions would forever change the course of their lives. Their story is one of secrets, deception, and a tragedy that no one saw coming. But what happened after the crime? It's not just the death of a young boy. It's the lengths a mother would go to hide the truth. It all started in Rock Island, Illinois, a small city that, up until that moment, was known for its charm and quiet streets. It was the kind of place where neighbors waved to each other, and children played in the yard without fear. But in 2022, the Staples family would become the epicenter of a tragedy that would shatter the town's peaceful facade. When the police first arrived at the Staples residence, they were met with resistance. They had received troubling reports about the disappearance of Zion Staples, and the situation was raising alarms. But when officers knocked on the door, Sushi Staples wouldn't allow them inside. She calmly told the officers that they needed to bring a warrant if they wanted to search the house.
So we got kind of a weird phone call. Do you know Latricia?
No.
No?
I don't know anybody out here.
Some lady called DCFS. And,
What?
And kind of made some claims that you had a child that accidentally shot themselves.
Absolutely not.
No, it sounds crazy to me too. That's what.
I am so sorry about this. My ex-husband, his new girlfriend, this broad is off the chain. I have went down to Rock Island and filed a police report on her. She has made up different names, called me from different numbers. I have changed my number, tried to do everything I can.
Right. So they made some allegation that you had a son and he shot himself.
Sir,
and he's in your basement.
Come on now. You think, look where I live.
No, I get it. Just so I can check the box off, can I look in your basement real quick and I'll get out of here?
No, you need a search warrant to do that. I'm sorry, I'm not about to have my rights violated because someone makes Uranus allegations like this.
I know. And you guys only have girls?
Yes.
Okay.
I have 4. Do you want to see them?
No. They said it was a son. I was just curious if that's even true.
It's not.
Okay.
It's a never-ending story with these two.
I get, like I said, I'm not trying to bother you or anything, but we get a call, no matter how crazy it sounds, we still got to come up and see if there's any truth. All right. Sorry to bug you. Just like I said, we got a call, even if it sounds crazy, we got to come and see what's going on.
This lady, I don't even know what to say about her. It's never ending.
All right.
I have doorbell cams here.
I saw that.
So, I'm here. I ain't got nothing to hide.
Okay.
Sushi's refusal to let them in was unsettling, but without a warrant, the officers had no choice but to leave. At that moment, the police were left with more questions than answers. The refusal to cooperate only heightened their suspicion that something wasn't right. But despite her resistance, the authorities didn't give up. They knew they needed more evidence, and they were determined to find the truth. Days later, armed with a warrant, the police returned to the Staples home. This time, they weren't going to be turned away. As they entered the house, they were led to the garage. What they found there would haunt them forever.
Hello.
Yes.
Sushi? Can you come out?
What's going on?
Well, just step on out. I'll explain everything.
Wait a minute, my kid's in here.
Okay, I understand that, but we have a search warrant for the house.
We're asking for your cooperation to be up front with us.
Hold on.
So step on out.
No, step
What
out.
part of the house do you all have a search warrant for?
The whole house.
The whole house.
You need to step out. Step out.
Okay, I'm gonna open the door.
Open the door.
We'll all walk in casually. We're not going to tear up your house or anything. So
Calm down, my kids are in here.
Okay.
Please.
How many?
4.
And where at in the house?
They're upstairs. I just made them go upstairs. I don't want to scare my kids. Can we just calm down?
Officer's gonna walk in there with you, and I got a copy of the warrant here for you, honey.
Can I see the warrant, please? And I can call my lawyer.
Insecure here.
Can I see the warrant before we walk any further? I'm calm.
we have a valid search warrant. So
I understand, but you haven't let me see it yet, and you're walking through my house.
it's right here. You don't run how we
Yeah, you're not looking for
Okay, I'm trying to see. Hello?
So I need your phone too. So the reason we're here, okay, is because we're investigating a call that we had, okay? The officers came out and talked to you last night, correct?
Yes.
Okay. We have to handle that real seriously, okay? Because the allegations are that you have a son and that he's deceased and he's here in this house. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. Do you have a son named Zion?
No, I don't.
You've never had a son named Zion.
No.
Are you claiming benefits for a kid named Zion?
No. I haven't gotten any benefits for anyone.
Have you had any interactions with DCFS up in Chicago?
I did.
Okay.
False calls that were made.
Okay.
Correct.
One of the calls from 2021, DCFS came out to your residence in Chicago, and there was a Zion Staples there.
We had kids in the neighborhood come over.
So,
Some of those kids that were implicated were not, in fact, our children. They were there.
so you're saying there was a kid in your apartment that was not your kid, named Zion?
I didn't say his name was
Staples.
Zion. No.
time grasping here is with this Zion, because a DCFS worker in Chicago physically talked to Zion at a period of time.
They take pictures of everyone in your household, and I possibly had some visitors. It was probably the summertime.
So where would they get the name Zion
They come up with
Staples?
Zion Staples.
I don't
and
know.
be your
People
son.
make shit up all the time. People are trying to turn my life upside down. They think I have all of this. I don't have anything. I'm a simple person.
Sure.
I work a job to
Get
take
that. We
care of my
understand
kids,
that.
but people
how come
envy
Zion
that.
is coming back to you in your address here through public aid?
Man, this is crazy. I don't know. I think I'm being framed. That's what I think is going on. What is that?
First it.
For Zion Staples.
Zion Staples.
That's not mine.
Sushi Staples. It's found in your
We
room.
need
along
to
with
get.
the Social
We
Security
need
card.
to get this
Stop
figured out. Stop this.
Lying.
It's over.
Where's that kid? You need to come clean, because we're not going anywhere. You're just gonna dig yourself a bigger grave now. I asked you if there's anything with Zion's name in this house. You said no. So let's start all over, okay? Who is Zion?
Because we're starting with something that we're being told really terrible, and then we're talking about down here with maybe fraud. We don't know. But somewhere along here, we need to get the full thing here and understand what this is. So what is the part of this that this really is? Because you know what they told you last night, and that's something horrible.
That's
But then there's,
horrible.
and then we're talking about, are you getting benefits from a child that doesn't exist but have all this stuff for? We need to know the truth here. It's done. It's over. We're in the middle of this now. We have evidence to show this now.
So let's start over. Who is Zion? Is he your son? I mean, the cat's out of the bag now. I need to know.
Can I just get my kids somewhere safe, please?
We need to, here's the thing, hon.
I will go with you where you want to go. Just let me call my family. That's it.
We need to
come get my kids. That's it.
We need to open up and talk about this.
Oh.
And I know this might be the toughest thing you've ever done, but we have to figure this out now. This is as serious gets, and we need to understand what's going on here. We're too far in now. We have to figure this out now. This is as serious gets, and we need to understand what's going on here. We're too far in now. Okay? Let's take a moment here. Let's relax, but we've got to get this discussed and get it out in the open.
I can see, this is eating you up. This is eating you up inside, okay?
Oh my God.
Who is Zion?
Look, I will talk to you, but can I please just have my family come and get my kids?
Do you have family here?
They're 2.5 hours away, but they can come and get my kids, please. And I'll talk to you, okay? And that's my word. There. I needed some extra help, okay?
Yes.
That was it.
What do you mean by that?
I had a person that makes documents. And it was just really hard. Like,
So is Zion a real person?
no. I can't call a lawyer and let them know you are here. I can't call a lawyer to come here to my house while I'm being questioned by you.
If you want an attorney right now, we can we'll just be done.
We'll be done.
All right.
But the investigation continues.
Okay.
Okay. Turn it on for me.
Oh, no. I'm going to jail? What am I going to jail for? What have I done?
You just admitted to fraud.
So now you're going to railroad me on fraud?
Railroad you what? We're trying to figure out where your kid is. You're saying that he doesn't exist.
My kid. Let me walk out.
We'll cuff you in front, okay?
This is embarrassing. I can get in the car. Do you got to take my dignity away and put me in cuffs?
We're not gonna put him behind you, okay? We're gonna walk you to the car real quick, and then we'll get you out of here, okay?
My neighbors, they've been knowing me for 6 years. You see that badge over there? I work 2 jobs at Genesis.
I hear you.
I go to school out here.
Hidden in a trash can, lying lifeless, was the body of 10-year-old Zion Staples. The discovery sent shockwaves through the investigation. Zion, who had been missing for months, was now found dead. His body had been concealed in that trash can by none other than his mother, Sushi Staples, who had been hiding the truth for months. The officers immediately secured the scene, unable to believe what they were seeing. Zion's death had initially been deemed an accident, but now they understood that something far darker had been taking place in that home. Sushi, faced with the undeniable evidence, was left with no choice but to admit what had happened. The shocking reality of Zion's death and the lengths to which his mother had gone to hide the truth would leave the community reeling for months to come. While the focus of the case has largely been on Zion and his tragic death, it's important to remember that Sushi Staples wasn't just a mother to him. She had other children, siblings who were left to grapple with the devastating fallout from the events that unfolded. What happened to them in the wake of Zion's death? How did they cope with not only losing their brother, but also the revelation that their own mother had been the one to hide his death for months? The emotional toll on these children is something that can't be ignored. They were caught in the middle of a tragedy they had no part in, facing the harsh reality that their own mother had failed to protect one of her own. For them, this wasn't just a loss of a sibling. It was the shattering of their sense of safety, trust, and family. It's difficult to imagine the pain they must have felt, not only in losing Zion, but in realizing that their mother had played a role in his disappearance. How could they move forward knowing the person they trusted the most was responsible for their brother's death? Zion Staples was a 10-year-old boy full of life and energy. He had the kind of innocence that made you smile just by looking at him. His mother, Sushi, was a devoted parent. To the outside world, they were a happy family. But behind closed doors, the cracks were beginning to show. In December 2022, Zion Staples was found dead under mysterious circumstances. The tragic part? His mother, Sushi, concealed his death for months. She hid Zion's lifeless body in a garbage can in the garage, pretending like nothing had happened. For 7 long months, she continued to collect his government benefits, all the while keeping the truth hidden from the authorities. It wasn't until a tip from an anonymous source led the police to the Staples home in August 2023 that the truth began to surface. But by then, the damage had already been done. Zion had been lying there in that trash can, his life snuffed out and his story silenced by the very person who should have been protecting him. The police were initially baffled. Sushi had been cooperative, though she denied the existence of her son. Her claims were bizarre. She insisted that someone had stolen her identity and was using it to claim benefits in Zion's name. But when investigators uncovered Zion's birth certificate and began to piece together the timeline, things didn't add up. As they dug deeper into her background, the puzzle pieces slowly started to fit. But Sushi wasn't willing to give up the truth without a fight. She went to great lengths to hide her son's death, even moving his body around to avoid detection. But there was something Sushi didn't account for: the meticulousness of the investigation. The officers pieced together tiny clues that slowly unraveled her story. It was clear she was hiding something. But what was the reason? Was this a case of neglect gone wrong, or something more sinister? And why did she do it? When confronted with the evidence, Sushi was forced to come clean. "I didn't know what else to do. I was scared. I didn't want anyone to know," she confessed. Her voice trembled, and her face was a mask of guilt. She had failed as a mother. But was this a moment of desperation, or had the seeds of something darker been planted long before Zion's death? The police investigation continued, revealing that Zion had been dead for far longer than anyone could have imagined. The timeline was chilling. Sushi had not only concealed his death, but manipulated every detail to cover her tracks. But as the layers peeled away, a deeper mystery began to emerge. What could drive a mother to commit such a horrific act? Do you think Sushi Staples is guilty? Or was this an unfortunate tragedy that spiraled out of control? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. Do you think there's more to this case than meets the eye? If you're enjoying this true crime story, don't forget to like this video and hit the subscribe button. We've got more jaw-dropping stories coming your way. What drove Sushi Staples to hide the death of her son for months? Was it a crime of desperation or something far darker? As the investigation continued, the pieces began to come together. It wasn't just about a mother hiding her son's death. There was something more to it. Detectives found that, in the months following Zion's death, Sushi had continued her life as if everything was normal. She attended public events, went to work, and, most shockingly, continued to claim her son's benefits. Every check, every payment, was a constant reminder that the boy she had failed was gone, but she wasn't ready to let go. The police dug deeper into her past, uncovering troubling details. Sushi Staples was no stranger to law enforcement, but this time things were different. The law wasn't going to let her get away with what she had done. The quiet city of Rock Island was about to find out just how far one woman would go to hide a secret that had the power to destroy everything. As the investigation unfolded, detectives began to uncover the truth behind Sushi Staples' complex history. For years, she had been a fixture in her community, always seemingly involved and caring. But beneath the surface, there were cracks in her life that few knew about. Sushi had a history of personal struggles, some of which had led her to seek comfort in unhealthy ways. But what was the final tipping point? What caused her to make the decision that would haunt her forever? Was it the pressure of being a single mother trying to juggle everything? Or was there something more sinister at play? The detectives' questions only multiplied as the investigation dug deeper. It wasn't until they found the garbage can in the garage that the case took its most shocking turn. In it lay the lifeless body of Zion Staples, hidden away for months. This wasn't just a case of neglect, it was a deliberate act of deceit. Zion's death wasn't an accident, nor was it an impulsive act. It had been planned. Sushi Staples had actively hidden the truth for far too long, and now the world was about to find out. In December 2022, Zion Staples' life was tragically cut short in a horrific accident. While alone in the home, Zion found his mother's gun, a weapon that was supposed to be hidden away for safety. In a moment of curiosity or carelessness, Zion accidentally discharged the gun, fatally shooting himself. The events that followed were nothing short of devastating. Instead of immediately seeking help or calling authorities, his mother, Sushi Staples, made the shocking decision to conceal Zion's death. She hid his body in a trash can in their garage, continuing to collect his benefits as if he were still alive. Though Zion's death was a tragic accident, his mother's response turned it into something far more sinister. The secrecy, the deception, and the cover-up that followed only deepened the tragedy, leaving everyone involved questioning how such a devastating mistake could lead to months of hidden pain. Sushi was arrested, but she continued to deny her role in her son's death. She couldn't bring herself to confess at first, but the mounting pressure and evidence eventually forced her to face the truth. In a chilling moment, Sushi Staples looked at the police officers and finally said, "I did it. I didn't know how to live with myself anymore, but I didn't know what else to do." It was a statement that left the detectives speechless. Was this guilt or a final attempt at evading full responsibility? How could a mother make such a decision? The reality of the situation sank in as Sushi's words echoed in the interrogation room.
And I should have made the right decision, but I just don't know what happened. I am not a criminal. I am not a monster. I am just a mother who have tried over and over again, no matter how many times I fall, to get up and do the right thing again.
There was no turning back now. She had confessed to hiding the truth for months, but what drove her to do it? As the case moved to court, the world watched. Sushi Staples was charged with multiple counts, including the concealment of death, obstruction of justice, and endangerment. The courtroom was packed with people who could hardly believe the events that had unfolded. They wanted answers. They needed to know why a mother would do such a thing. But as the trial progressed, it became clear that Sushi's actions weren't driven by simple neglect. She was hiding a much darker secret. Was it financial desperation, a psychological breakdown, or something more sinister? The trial would reveal it all. As the case captured headlines, Zion's extended family members were left grappling with the pain of his loss. The emotional toll on them was immense. They had loved Zion as a bright, energetic boy with so much potential. They couldn't understand how a mother could let her son down in such a brutal way. The trauma and grief felt by Zion's relatives would take years to heal. But for now, the world was focused on the mother who had turned her back on her son when he needed her the most. For Zion's family, this wasn't just about seeking justice. It was about finding a way to move forward after such a horrific betrayal. Would they ever be able to forgive Sushi? Or would they forever feel the weight of the loss that she had caused? In January 2024, after months of legal battles, Sushi Staples was finally sentenced. The court's decision shocked many, as it was revealed that she had been given a relatively light sentence for the magnitude of her actions. Some felt that justice hadn't been served, while others argued that the mental and emotional toll on Sushi, as a mother, should be taken into account. But no matter the legal outcome, one thing remained clear. Zion Staples' life was cut short, and his story would forever be linked to the haunting actions of his own mother. For those who followed the case, there would always be a lingering question: why? In a final moment of introspection, Sushi Staples spoke to the media after her sentencing. "I'll never forgive myself for what I did. I wish I could go back and change everything. Zion didn't deserve this. He was the light of my life, and I took that from him." Her voice cracked as she spoke, the weight of her regret hanging in the air. Was this the remorse of a broken woman, or was there something deeper at play? Her confession left many wondering if she truly understood the gravity of her actions, or if she was simply trying to save herself from the depths of her guilt. If you're captivated by this true crime story and want to know more about cases like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and join our community of crime enthusiasts. Leave a comment below. What do you think happened in this case? Was justice served? Let us know your thoughts. We want to hear from you. As the case of Zion Staples continued to unfold, the public reaction was nothing short of explosive. The community in Rock Island, where Sushi and Zion had once lived, was left grappling with the betrayal of a mother they had known for years. The shockwaves rippled through the media, with people across the country questioning how a mother could carry out such a horrific act. Was Sushi Staples truly a monster? Or was there more to her story that the public wasn't seeing? Social media erupted with debates. People expressed outrage, grief, and disbelief. Some people felt sympathy for Sushi, citing her personal struggles and the pressure she might have been under. Others, however, were adamant that there was no excuse for what she had done. To many, this wasn't just a crime, it was a betrayal of the most basic human trust. As detectives delved deeper into the case, they started looking beyond the surface of Sushi's actions. Was this a mother who had simply snapped under pressure? Or was it something more? Psychologists began to speculate about Sushi's motives. Was it financial desperation? Or was she dealing with deeper emotional and mental struggles that clouded her judgment? Some experts suggested that Sushi's actions were a result of unresolved trauma, while others believed that she simply couldn't bear the thought of losing her son. Still, many were left wondering, did she truly understand the magnitude of what she had done? In interviews and court proceedings, Sushi showed signs of emotional distress, but was it enough to justify her actions? As a mother, her guilt seemed palpable, but was it too little, too late? The question of whether she was truly remorseful lingered in the air. While the legal system focused on finding justice, the emotional toll on Sushi's family and the community was something that could never be fixed. The stain of Zion's death would forever remain on their lives. After months of legal battles and public outcry, Sushi Staples was finally sentenced in the early months of 2024. The courtroom was packed, and the tension was high. Zion's extended family members watched as the judge handed down a sentence that many felt was far too lenient for the severity of the crime. Sushi received a sentence of 2 years in prison for the concealment of a death and endangerment of a child. The prosecution had dropped several charges, including obstruction of justice and failing to report a death. Many felt that Sushi's actions deserved a harsher punishment, but the court's decision was final. The judge further recommended that she be placed in a mental health facility, as at the time she was suffering from an anxiety disorder. She was also ordered to serve 6 months of mandatory supervised release once her prison term ended. However, Sushi was not satisfied with this sentence. She felt that the judge had treated her unfairly and sought to withdraw her plea deal to be resentenced. In a handwritten letter to the judge, she wrote, "I am asking for a reconsideration of my sentence because I am a first-time felon and have never been to prison. My last charge with law enforcement was over 20 years ago, and I feel I should receive a deferred judgment, mental health court, and probation." Public opinion was split. Some felt that the sentence was a slap on the wrist for a crime so heinous, while others argued that her mental state should have been taken into account. In either case, the verdict did little to bring closure to Zion's family, who were left to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives. While Sushi served her sentence, Zion's family was left to mourn the loss of a boy with so much potential. His death had shattered their hearts, and no amount of justice could ever bring him back. For Zion's relatives, this case wasn't just about seeking justice. It was about remembering the child they had lost. Zion's aunt, speaking publicly about the case, said, "Zion was a bright, loving child. His laugh filled the room. No one will ever replace him, and no amount of punishment can make this right." But as they mourned, Zion's family also sought to ensure that his story was told. They wanted the world to know who Zion Staples was. Not just a tragic figure, but a boy who had been loved deeply by his family. Zion's memory would live on through the hearts of those who loved him, and in the ongoing quest for justice and truth. What do you think? Did justice truly prevail, or is there more to the story? Leave your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe for more jaw-dropping true crime stories. Until next time, stay aware, stay safe, and always look a little deeper. This is True Crime Diaries, where every story has a pulse.